16.
Salut tout le monde, c'est Warwick de Warwick Gaming. Nous voici pour l'épisode 6. Alors il est un peu particulier cet épisode 6 car j'ai eu un souci lors du premier essai. Cela n'a rien enregistré, donc du coup j'étais un peu coincé parce que j'avais avancé dans l'histoire et j'avais pas pu vous le montrer. Donc du coup j'ai dû recommencer. J'ai refait un personnage, le même, en m'orientant de la même manière. Au début j'étais parti pour faire juste la quête principale, pour retrouver le même endroit et vous filmer juste le passage que j'avais raté du coup. Et il s'avère que tout en gardant un personnage très très proche de ce que j'ai fait, du coup c'est plus facile. J'ai eu des objets qui m'ont aidé pour certaines choses, genre une veste pour faire du crochetage de tout ce qui était niveau 1. Donc j'ai eu des pièces d'armure intéressantes. Donc j'ai continué avec cette partie là. Et on est parti pour continuer. Voilà, on est revenu. On avait lui qui nous a donné une quête.
Hi.
Lieutenant, how can I help you?
Made the traps you suggested. Now they just have to be set to catch the locusts.
Then I'll make sure they find their way to the tunnels. Keep the filthy things from reaching the surface and poaching our goods. And Lieutenant, thank you for caring. The poorest of us rarely get shown such concern. It's your lucky day. I need a favor, if you have the time, on top of the missions the captain already gave you.
Depends on the favor.
Soldiers back from the front are barricaded inside the warehouse, but they think Aurora's outside and they're in the middle of a war zone. They've terrorized the merchants, but honestly, that's not even the worst of it. According to internal reports, they're not just soldiers. They're test subjects for a new combat drug that increases their strength tenfold. Their paranoia is probably a result of the drug, but it makes the situation even more dangerous. I would prefer it if you could reason with them. You could use force, but in their state, the drugs could push them over the edge. A straight-up fight could kill them. First things first, we need to help get them quarantined and away from civilians to prevent further collateral damage. I know you're up to your neck in other responsibilities, but please, this is a favor for me and a favor for the guys. If the ASC handles it instead, I know I'm gonna be writing letters of condolences. Don't let it come to that.
If you're gonna try reasoning with them, how about we try to find their families? Or at least a corporal's family to give us some ammo for when we talk to them. Or not. Sorry, Lieutenant. Didn't mean to step on your toes.
He looks like a simpleton, but looks are apparently deceiving. What's the first step in any experimental protocol, Zachariah Roguemancer? Answer, please? Research the subject. Hanging around with brutish simpletons has damaged your brain. Which reminds me, floss your teeth before... No, never mind. Ignore me. That's just a little note for myself to remember before bedtime.
Ok, bon, il est un peu taré ce docteur. Allez, on va faire ça. Pas sur le chemin ça.
Soldier, please let me in.
Tiens, c'est toujours la même. Quand on a fait notre entraînement.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. No civilians are gonna need to send them.
Just, please. I'm Corporal Tyron's wife.
Ma'am, your husband. He's one of the soldiers who returned yesterday?
Yes, I'm Corporal Tyron Ward's wife. So he is back? Why haven't I been permitted to see him? What's wrong?
Ma'am, he's safe, but he's scared. Paranoid. Suffering severe post-traumatic stress. So what I need for you to do is tell me something. Anything that might help me convince him to listen. Before he gets himself killed.
Tell him I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting to see him. Dying to see him. Tell him about the ribbon he sent me for my hair. And that it's not just me waiting anymore. That we're going to have a child soon.
Ok, ça c'est des arguments qui devraient nous aider. Ok, c'est là-haut. crois que je me suis planté en fait.
See the Technomancer? Shh, they're unstable. Anything can set them off. Let's talk about something else. Okay. We never see him around.
Excuse me, soldier. I wanna...
Freeze! Not another step! That uniform ain't fooling anyone, asshole! What are you? Aurora spy?
Look, I just got back from one hell of a mission, so if my uniform's not up to spec, you'll forgive me. But either tell your superiors I'm back with intel, or explain to them why you kept it from them. Your choice.
You just finished spying on the enemy? Well, why didn't you say that in the first place? Get in here before your cover's blown.
Ok, ça c'est bon. Faut pas me laisser passer lui.
Corporal, let's chat.
You wanna chat? Sure, why not? Not like we're at war here. Let's just have a goddamn tea party. Whatever you want to chat about. Oh, shit, I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I didn't see your stripes. Your uniform threw me off, sir. My mistake.
It's fine, Corporal. Stand down. Listen, Corporal, you're confused. You're scared, and I get that. Not a lot is making sense to you now, but you have to trust me. You're back in Ophir, and your wife, Maya, she's worried about you.
Maya? How the hell do you know my wife's name? Did you do something to...
Your wife's fine, Corporal. She even told me about that ribbon you sent her.
She told you about the ribbon? I don't understand. There was a goddamn war raging out there. I heard it. We were under siege. If we're in Ophir, you telling me it's under siege?
It was. The fighting's done, though. You held the warehouse like men, so just relax and return to your barracks. Rest. And wait for your wife. She has some good news for you.
Good news? Of what?
The best kind. Trust me. The kind that'll be a reason to stay safe. To stay alive.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Men, listen up. Lower your arms. We're heading back to the barracks. On the double.
Ok, ça c'est cool.
Unfortunately, this is beyond my skill level.
Ça je peux pas.
Don't know if our general
Hi.
Lieutenant, how can I help you?
I solved your problem, Quartermaster.
Is that so? And how'd it go?
No lives lost, but if we don't find an antidote to the drug, I doubt those men will see a day outside a cell for the rest of their lives.
Thanks, Lieutenant, we owe you one. A friend of mine working on the test actually sent us a sample, and we should be able to make an antidote with it. Eventually, I hope.
Give me the sample. I know someone who could probably find the cure quickly.
Thank you, Lieutenant. If he succeeds, he will help us out a lot. Here, take this.
Ok, c'est cool. On va demander à Scott alors.
Hi, Scott.
Hello, my boy. How are you? Nothing broken, I hope?
Could you analyze this sample and make an antidote?
Of course I could, but not here. I need my laboratory.
Ok, bon, on va aller voir ça. Ok. Le laboratoire, il est là, sur la droite, puis gauche.
Lieutenant? Should we maybe get the civilians away from the plaza? It might be safer. Good point.
Ouais.
Yeah, let's ask them to move back.
Citizens, gotta keep moving. Go!
We're going!
Ça, c'est pour l'autre quête.
Stay back. Keep moving.
Screw you! You move! I live here!
There may be an attack coming. We're just trying to keep everyone safe.
An attack? Why didn't you just say that? We're out of here!
Voilà, c'est plus simple quand on explique d'abord. Voilà, Scott, normalement, il y a ce qu'il faut pour faire.
Hi, Scott.
Hello, my boy. How are you? Nothing broken, I hope?
I have a sample of a drug that was administered to the soldiers. We absolutely need an antidote. Can you do that?
Of course. You know, you could have probably made it yourself. If you would listen to the science lessons I was trying to teach you... Oh, well, you preferred to throw lightning bolts. I remember that time.
Scott, here's the sample. Can I get an antidote?
You think that I'm senile? You'll see. Give me some time. Take this. It wasn't that complicated. I made you one dose, and I wrote down the formula on it. They'll be on their own for making others.
Thank you, Scott.
Ouais, bonne chose de faite. La gueule qu'il a.
Oh, hey there. You're the officer who's escorting us? Damn, we got lucky. Our own Technomancer. Name's Nisha.
Pleasure. Zachariah Mancer. I'll get you where you need to go.
Never met a Technomancer before. Must be amazing to have powers like that. I gotta say, I was getting pretty worried Aurora would try to attack us on the road. But with you tagging along...
We still need to be careful and stick together. Never know when danger's gonna crop up.
Ok.
We leaving soon. I'm ready when you are.
Ok, c'est bon. Un truc à ramasser ou pas?
Strike.
Their cunning knows no end. Even now, we're still within their reach.
Non.
We must get to the exchange. Only then will we be safe.
I hope so. The AR data visually evidence. Astounding. By the way, did you read Rick's report about the 2 new mines on the breachers?
I'll take one.
Can't open the lock or break it. Gonna need the combination.
Ouh.
Hello, officer. I'm Simon Judge.
Hello, Mr. Judge. I'm Zachariah Mancer, and I've been assigned to escort you.
Mancer? A Technomancer? I've never had the opportunity to cross paths with your kind. You're a pretty mysterious group of people. I've heard that your abilities could turn out to be dangerous, even for you. Is it true?
It's called a surge. Intense excitement and emotions can make us generate more energy than we can usually handle. It creates an overload. If we manage to keep it in check, the effects are minor, and it can be used very effectively in combat. Result is devastating for anything around the Technomancer. Unfortunately, in extreme cases, it can lead to the death of the one who generates it.
Fascinating. That's really fascinating. You are really the spearhead of the armies of Mars.
Ouais, bon, petite information intéressante. Par contre, pour le code, ça nous aide pas. Niveau 2. Ok.
Zach, listen to... There's been an explosion. There will be wounded there. I have to... Are you able to escort these people yourself?
I'll manage. Go on. Go help where you can. Stay hidden. I'll deal with the assassins.
Help! They're attacking us! Officer, help! They're attacking us!
Stay hidden. I'll deal with the assassins.
Help! They're attacking us!
Forcément, si je me plante de touche en cours de combat.
Stay hidden. I'll deal with the assassins.
Officer, help! They're attacking
I'll get you someplace safe. We gotta go, now!
We're following you, officer, trusting you with our lives.
Let's head to the north gate, then the guards can take you to the residence, or the exchange.
You're an impressive young man. I've always trusted our Technomancers. Gentlemen, miss, let us dally no more.
Whew. Autre chose à looter ou c'est bon? Je crois qu'on a perdu les autres corps. Un peu de mal à me repérer parfois. À droite.
We're not safe here, are we, officer?
Pas grave, on prend. Ah mais j'ai plus mes coéquipiers là.
Thank you, officer. I hope to see you around soon. I'll be at the source.
Lieutenant! Everything go all right? It's been awful over there. They blew up the protection shutters, so we had to evacuate everyone.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't just a diversion. It was a symbol, too. Destroy the roof of a rival city and they won't forget about it anytime soon.
That's true. That's some good thinking, Lieutenant. So, we heading back to the barracks? Sure, the captain will be wanting your report as soon as possible.
Ok. Il fait peur avec sa cagoule, l'autre. Ah, on n'a plus notre docteur.
Lieutenant, I'm a little busy planning our next mission. Come back in a bit.
Of course, Captain.
Listen, before you left, I got a little message from your great master, as you call him. He's looking for you. How about when you find him, you tell him you don't answer to him anymore? I get that his rank makes it hard to say no to him, Lieutenant. But I'd prefer if he kept his hands off my soldiers.
Of course, Captain.
Ok, Technomancer, allez voir.
Hi.
Lieutenant, how can I help you?
Antidote.
I went to a friend for a solution to our antidote problem, and he found one.
That's the kind of good news you don't get every day. You could stop 100 terrorist attacks and still not save as many lives as you have with that antidote, Lieutenant.
Cool.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
What do you think of our army?
Ah, a question requiring a delicate response indeed. For we are a part of that body. An integral part, perhaps, a vital organ, but still just a part. As such, one may not talk about the whole without impugning the parts, which in truth I am not wont to do. But with that spoken, it is very old. On one hand, good, well-established, the best equipment, disciplined troops, professional. But on the other hand, set in its ways, a double-edged sword indeed. For inflexibility is merely a step from paralysis, an iteration of the old dog's new tricks scenario. And with ranks practically inherited, there hardly exists a culture that encourages hard work or passion among the troops. Why work towards something that's unachievable? And of course, it's less than ideal that there are far too few of our kind among the ranks. Next to Aurora, we're surprisingly deprived in that field. And they're in the process of collecting the laurels of their politics right now.
Je sais pas où je peux lui parler de la nana là.
What can you tell me about the ASC?
There is nothing to learn, officially, because no one talks about them out of fear. Speak of the devil and he shall appear and all. Silly superstition. But fear drives men as much as serum, I suppose. The true source of their power ultimately stems from their surveillance services. And with the war comes near limitless authorities in such matters. More often than not, authorities are aimed at their own dissenters rather than any deeply tangible threat to our great mother abundance. At their core, they are quite simply the most mortal of threats to us. So I would advise you, stay in line, do as you are told, and attract little attention, for it is now a perilous game of survival.
Do you have any wisdom you can share regarding Colonel Victor?
Wisdom or warning? He is a dangerously smart man with an insatiable hunger for power, an unending drive to have us in his pockets. A chess master, I fear, with just enough savvy to find a way to do it, too. Someday.
Bon, je vois pas trop où est-ce qu'on peut lui parler de ce qu'elle nous a dit.
What can you share about us, the Technomancers?
We are, as you have learned, mutants, Zachariah. But while other mutations form the poor, deformed creatures that we use like commodities, ours has produced within us gifts. Whether this knowledge is shared among the Technomancers of Aurora, I know not. We are all still learning about ourselves, with knowledge segregated from faction to faction, corporation to corporation. Even Aurora conducts experiments that would be of interest to us. We whose gifts have turned us into living weapons. And despite our strengths, despite our role as guardians of knowledge, the last link to the Earth's past, the sole reason the corporations have not yet collapsed, our instability has ensured that any seat of power remains elusive to our kind. But never forget, no matter what our enemies, even those inside abundance, may think or espouse, they need us. It is not the other way around. We are our own masters, never slaves.
Do you have any insight on Alan Mancer?
Zachariah, listen closely. As much as my heart yearns to spurt vitriol at his name, discretion is the better part of valor. Speak neither ill of the dead nor of those who could make you so. That man is filled with more blind aspiration than sense, easily manipulated by those who know how to flatter him. He would give up everything for the slightest bit of praise. He is the antithesis of you. While you ascended, his weaknesses have kept him from initiation, and he holds it against you. But do not get sucked into his petty games. He is a dolt, worthy of less attention than contempt.
Ouais, bon allez, on va voir la nana dehors, et puis on va arrêter là.
Officer? Officer Zachariah Mancer, a sight for sore eyes. Our hero, brave and strong.
I like where this is going.
Well, you know, you were just so nice, and if you wanted, if you had time, I know you're probably busy, but if you did...
What?
I'm just glad you came to see me. I was just thinking about you. Feel like you're maybe the only guy who could help me.
Why? What's going on?
I just don't have a lot of friends in Ophir. Never really had time for them, but one of the few I have, Abbie Goodsman, owns a stall. She's a great girl. Lately, though, she's been scared for her life. Soldiers have been trying to extort her for serum. They tore down her stall and threatened all sorts of horrible things when she wouldn't pay. As an officer, I was hoping you could find out who these wicked men are and figure out why they're messing with a good girl like Abbie. Please, I'm really terrified for her.
If you're positive they're soldiers, that's weird. Yeah, I'll look into it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I knew you were a good guy.
Can I ask how you ended up becoming an artist?
That's a long story, officer. Not the happy kind. Don't want to depress you.
I got all night.
All right. Okay. You asked for it. I got left alone when I was young. Parents died, so I was forced out on the streets. One of 1,000 orphans like me. Did a lot of stuff I wasn't proud of, but had to get by, you know? Then I got lucky, and the center took me in. Gave me food and clothes and an education and hope. And a purpose once they taught me music. And confidence once they told me I was talented. So, when I was old enough to leave the orphanage, I got lucky and met some other musicians who gave me a lot of help. Ended up performing in some bars around the slums. Not glamorous, but I got lucky, and it got me here. So, maybe the story's not so sad after all.
You're not really like everyone else, are you?
What do you mean?
You kept a level head in the attack. The politicians lost their shit, but you kept cool.
Maybe a hard life like mine prepares you for anything. Or maybe I just had more faith in your abilities than they did.
I gotta go.
All right. Well, maybe I'll see you again soon. Be careful. Would hate to lose a guy like you around here.
Ok, on pourra aider la jolie dame. Par contre, j'ai pas compris pourquoi on pouvait pas valider l'autre, mais bon, on verra ça au prochain coup. Allez, salut tout le monde, à la prochaine.